They told you you're just human, flesh, bone, and a ticking clock, that you're supposed to work hard, pay bills, play it safe, and hope for a little happiness along the way. But what if that's the biggest lie you've ever been sold? What if you're not just human at all, but God, temporarily playing a role you've forgotten how to step out of? It sounds crazy at first, blasphemous even, but deep down, something in you knows this isn't all there is. You feel the gap, the anxiety, the pressure, the sense that you were meant for more but can't quite explain why. That's not weakness. That's memory trying to resurface. The truth? You've been hypnotized by the illusion, programmed to forget your power, your consciousness, your divine identity. But here's the twist. Remembering doesn't take years of suffering or endless searching. It starts the moment you see through the game. And once you do, reality changes fast. Manifestation becomes natural. Peace becomes your default. Life starts working with you, not against you, ready to stop pretending and start remembering who you truly are. 1. The illusion of separation and the great forgetting. From the moment a person takes their first breath, they are bombarded with messages reinforcing the idea that they are just a fragile human navigating an unpredictable world. Parents, teachers, and society unknowingly pass down this illusion, making it seem like an undeniable truth. But what if everything they believe about themselves is based on a misunderstanding? The idea of separation is the greatest trick ever played on human consciousness. It convinces people they are isolated, disconnected from their divine identity, when in reality they are limitless creators who have simply forgotten. Think about a dream where someone believes they are running from danger, heart pounding, fear gripping them, only to wake up and realize none of it was real. Life works the same way. The fear, struggle, and sense of smallness are part of the illusion, keeping them trapped in a false identity. The great forgetting happens when a person accepts limitation as their natural state. But the moment they start questioning the narrative, cracks begin to form in the illusion. Awakening is about remembering what was never truly lost. Every belief a person holds, every assumption about life, has been shaped by this illusion. When they are told they need to fight for success, chase happiness, or prove their worth, it's all based on a lie. They are already whole, already powerful. Yet, they've been conditioned to seek outside what has always been within. This is why no amount of external achievement ever truly satisfies. Deep down, something in them knows there's more. And that knowing, that pull toward something greater, is the first sign that the awakening process has begun. Some people spend their entire lives chasing shadows, never realizing they're dreaming. Others catch glimpses of the truth, but quickly dismiss them, afraid of what it might mean. But those who dare to look deeper, to challenge the illusion, begin to see the cracks widen. And once a person starts waking up, there's no going back. The question is, what force keeps them asleep in the dream? 2. How the ego keeps you asleep in the dream. The ego is like a clever salesman, always convincing a person that they are small, separate, and at the mercy of life's circumstances. It thrives on control, making sure they never question the illusion. Fear, doubt, and limitation are its favorite tools, keeping them distracted and reactive. Every time they feel powerless, stuck, or unworthy, that's the ego whispering, "This is just how life is." But is it? Or is it just a script they've been programmed to follow? Awakening begins the moment they stop blindly accepting the narrative and start asking the right questions. Imagine someone trapped in a virtual reality game, forgetting it's just a simulation. The ego is the headset, feeding them a constant stream of illusions, bills to pay, deadlines to meet, opinions to fear. It convinces them that they are just a struggling character in a story they didn't write. But the moment they step back and observe, something shifts. They realize they've been identifying with the player, not the one holding the controller. The question isn't whether they can escape the illusion, It's whether they're ready to take off the headset. The ego feeds on survival instincts, which is why it resists change. When someone starts to wake up, the ego throws everything at them. Self-doubt, criticism, even distractions that seem harmless, like binge-watching shows or scrolling endlessly through social media. These are not coincidences. They are defense mechanisms. The ego fears its own death, so it works over time to keep them invested in the dream. But those who recognize the pattern gain an advantage. Awareness itself is the key to loosening the ego's grip. So how does a person break free? By observing the ego without reacting to it. The next time fear creeps in, instead of getting lost in the emotion, they should step back and ask, who is feeling this fear? Who is watching? That small moment of awareness creates space where the illusion starts to crack. And once those cracks appear, the truth begins to shine through. But if the world outside is just a reflection of the mind, what does that say about the reality they experience every day? 3. Your reality is a reflection of your mind. A person's external world is nothing more than a mirror reflecting their inner state. Every situation, every relationship, every so-called obstacle is a direct response to their thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. If they carry fear, they see a world full of threats. If they hold on to scarcity, money seems to slip through their fingers. But when they shift their internal landscape, their outer reality follows. This isn't wishful thinking. It's how consciousness works. The question is, are they ready to take responsibility for what they see? Think of a man who believes the world is unfair. No matter where he goes, he finds evidence to support this. Rude people, missed opportunities, constant setbacks. But is life truly against him? Or is he filtering reality through his beliefs? Now imagine someone who expects abundance, ease, and connection. They walk through the same world, yet experience something completely different. What changed? Not the world itself, but the lens through which it is seen. The mind is the projector. Reality is just the screen. Most people try to change their lives by forcing things externally, working harder, chasing more, controlling circumstances. But this is like trying to fix a movie by adjusting the screen instead of changing the film. The real work happens within. If someone wants more peace, they cultivate it inside first. If they desire success, they align their mind with it before they see it materialize. The outside world isn't an independent force. It's an extension of their own consciousness. So, what's the next step? Simple. Pay attention. The patterns in life aren't random. They are clues. If the same problems keep showing up, they aren't happening to a person. They are happening because of them. But this isn't bad news. It's power. Because the moment someone truly understands that they are the creator, they stop trying to fix the reflection and start transforming the source. And when they do that, they reclaim something even greater, their divine identity. 4. The path of responsibility. Reclaiming your divine power. Most people spend their lives blaming circumstances, pointing fingers at others, and waiting for something outside of them to change. But real power begins the moment a person takes full responsibility for their life. No more excuses, no more victimhood, just a raw, undeniable truth. Everything they experience is a reflection of their own consciousness. This isn't about guilt or blame. It's about freedom. Because if they created their current reality, that means they also have the power to change it. The only question is, are they willing to own that power? Imagine two men lose their jobs. One spirals into despair, convinced the world is against him. The other sees it as a wake-up call, an opportunity to build something greater. Same event, completely different response. The difference: one gives his power away, the other reclaims it. Responsibility isn't about taking the blame for what happens. It's about recognizing that one's response to life shapes their future. When a person stops reacting and starts creating, they move from being a pawn in the game to the one making the rules. This shift isn't always comfortable. The ego fights back, feeding excuses like, "It's not my fault," or "I don't have control over this." But that's just another illusion. The truth is, a person's thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are constantly shaping their reality. If they want to see change, they must first become the change. That means replacing limitation with possibility, fear with trust, and doubt with certainty. No more waiting for a miracle, because they are the miracle they've been waiting for. Reclaiming power isn't about forcing things to happen. It's about alignment, stepping into a state where reality naturally bends to their will. And this isn't theory. It's something they can test right now. Want more abundance? Start embodying the mindset of someone who already has it. Desire love. Become the version of themselves that radiates it. The universe responds to who they are being, not what they are wanting. And the fastest way to shift their being? Silence. Because in silence, they remember who they truly are. 5. Silence and presence. The gateway to remembering. The mind is like a radio stuck on full blast, filling every moment with endless noise. Thoughts about the past, worries about the future, opinions, judgments, distractions. It never stops. And that's exactly how the illusion stays intact. But when a person dares to step into silence, something unexpected happens. The noise fades, and what's left is the truth. Not the conditioned mind, not the false identity, but the presence of pure awareness. And in that presence, they begin to remember who they really are. Think about the last time someone truly listened to the world around them. No phone, no music, no distractions. Maybe they sat in nature, heard the wind, felt the sun on their skin, and for a brief moment everything was just still. That wasn't just peace. That was a glimpse into their real nature. Consciousness isn't found in more thinking, it's found in the space between thoughts. And the more time a person spends in that space, the more the illusion unravels. Of course, the ego resists this. The moment a person sits in silence, the mind starts throwing a tantrum, reminding them of all the things they should be doing, bombarding them with random thoughts, trying to pull them back into the dream. But if they just observe, without reacting, something interesting happens. The mind loses its grip. The thoughts slow down. And in that stillness, a doorway opens. Not to something new, but to something ancient. The divine identity they had forgotten. The best part. They don't need to meditate for hours or escape to a monastery. Just 5 minutes of intentional presence can shift everything. A deep breath before reacting. A moment of stillness before making a decision. A pause to simply be. These small acts of awareness create space, and in that space, the illusion weakens. And once a person realizes they can shape their own reality, the next question becomes, how do they start walking through life as a conscious creator? 6. How to walk through life as a conscious creator. Awakening isn't just about knowing the truth, it's about living it. A person can read every book, watch every video, and understand every spiritual concept, but if they don't embody it in daily life, nothing changes. Being a conscious creator means taking that knowledge and applying it moment by moment. It means shifting from reaction to intention, from fear to trust, from struggle to flow. Every thought, every emotion, every action is either reinforcing the illusion or breaking free from it. The choice is always theirs. Picture two people stuck in traffic. One is frustrated, honking, feeling like the world is against them. The other is calm, using the moment to breathe, reflect, or enjoy the music. Same situation, completely different experience. Why? Because reality isn't about what happens, it's about how a person responds to it. A conscious creator understands that their state of being shapes everything. If they live in stress, they attract chaos. If they live in alignment, life bends in their favor. The outer world is always a reflection of the inner world. This isn't about forcing positivity or denying emotions. It's about awareness. When fear, doubt, or frustration arise, a conscious creator doesn't suppress them. They observe, understand, and shift. Instead of reacting blindly, they pause and ask, is this coming from my ego or my true self? This small shift in perspective changes everything, because the more they operate from awareness, the more control they have over their own reality. And the more they align with their divine identity, the more effortlessly things start to unfold. At first, this takes practice, but over time, it becomes second nature. Manifestation stops feeling like a technique and starts feeling like a natural state of being. Life moves with them instead of against them. Challenges become opportunities, synchronicities become normal, and what once felt impossible starts becoming inevitable. But the real breakthrough happens when they realize they were never trying to become something greater. They were simply remembering who they already were all along. 7. The journey back to your real identity. A person isn't a human trying to become divine. They are divine identity itself, momentarily experiencing life through human form. But the illusion is so convincing that they've spent years believing they are just a name, a body, a history. They've been conditioned to think they need to achieve something, reach enlightenment, or prove their worth. But the truth? There's nothing to become, only something to remember. Awakening isn't about adding anything new. It's about stripping away everything that isn't real. Imagine a wave in the ocean thinking it's separate, struggling to survive, fearing its end when it crashes onto the shore. But was it ever really separate? No. It was always the ocean, just temporarily in a different shape. This is the human experience. The body, the personality, the story. These are just temporary expressions of something eternal. And the moment a person realizes this, life stops being about survival and starts being about creation. The fear of loss disappears because nothing real can ever be lost. Of course, the mind fights this realization. It asks, but if I'm already complete, why do I feel so limited? That's the paradox. One can be infinite and still experience limitation. A person can be awake in some areas and still asleep in others. And that's okay. The journey isn't about reaching perfection. It's about deepening awareness. It's about choosing in every moment to remember. The more they do, the more they step into their natural state, one of freedom, joy, and effortless manifestation. This is where life transforms, relationships shift, success flows, struggles dissolve. Not because of luck, but because they are no longer operating from the illusion. They are living from truth. And when a person fully embraces their real identity, they don't just change their life, they change everything they touch. The only question left is, are they ready to wake up? If you want to elevate your vibrations and manifest with more ease, I have prepared something special for you. Click the link in the first pinned comment and join us in the journey of awakening your inner mage.